I remember one time during my days at St. Cloud State, I was walking to the library. I was going to the library to study. As I was walking up to the building, two guys came and stopped me. And they started asking me these questions about Jesus. And this is my pre-faith days. So I wanted nothing to do with having a conversation about Jesus on the sidewalk outside of the library as there's tons of people walking by. And so I just made a quick, yeah, I believe in Jesus, but I got to get going, guys. And so I kind of got out of there as fast as I could. But I think about those guys every once in a while, and I think about the obedience that they showed that day on the campus of St. Cloud State University that day, probably, 23, 24 years ago. They were obedient to God's call to go and do that. Now, I didn't surrender my life to Jesus that day, but looking back on it now, it was clear God was chasing after one of his religious rebels, me. He was coming after me, and he was using his own obedient people as conduits of grace into my life. You see, the reality of the book of Jonah isn't only that God wants to chase after these rebellious Ninevites. It's that God also chases after his religious rebels as well. God comes for both the rebellious and the religious to call us into a deep, trusting, eternal relationship with him.